We have been blessed with another Ken Climo care package. And inside is the brand new prototype Osprey. I love when they send me little notes because sometimes I just cannot keep up. Climo prototype Osprey, estimated flight numbers 106-31. So it appears these can be changed. It says estimated. What would you set the flight numbers at? Well, we haven't thrown it yet. This is a new plastic that we're seeing. This is the first official look at our upcoming Victory line plastic, which is a premium blend of plastic that is as durable as it is pearly. How do you think it compares to the major line? Well, we have the prototype Skyway here, which now apparently they're calling this major line. And this plastic is pretty gummy. It has some flexibility to it. And obviously it's opaque. The new Victory line is transparent and it has these like pearly little swirls in it if it's in the right lighting. And one thing that I'm surprised about is it still has that flexibility and kind of gumminess to it, which I really, really like. You might think it's like regular Discraft Z plastic, but Z plastic doesn't really have that like gumminess feel to it. It's a bit stiffer. Well, what about Champion plastic? But I think it's kind of the same. Doesn't quite have that flexibility. There's a little bit there, and it's not as gummy. From what I have, what I think it's most like is this K1 line plastic from Castaplast, where it has a little bit more flexibility to it and still that gumminess as well. One of the first things that I noticed was actually the rim. It's a bit more convex than most of your distance drivers. Immediately from Discraft, it reminded me of the Scorch, which I think I have one over here. The Scorch kind of has that rounded rim, much like the Osprey, but the Osprey is kind of interesting because it comes down to kind of this like rounded bead, which the Scorch actually comes down to a micro bead, but the Osprey is much different because it's more prominent, a little bit more like rounded, I guess. I don't even know how to explain it. I'll try to get close-ups of that. What I think we're gonna do is head out to the field to test these. I'll take the Skyway, the Osprey, and a Scorch, throw these a few times, and then we'll go play 9 holes somewhere. Let's get into it. It's a little windy out here, so I'm gonna move around in this field just so we can get a good idea of how these are flying. Right now, we have a tail right to left wind. I'm gonna start with the Skyway, then Scorch, and then throw the Osprey. Pop them up on some hyzer, see if they flip up. Nice and stable. Doesn't really flip up with the wind. In this wind, if we show the bottom of the flight plate, this wind is just gonna push them left. A lot more flip, much straighter of a flight, very glidey. That's the Scorch. I wish I thought about this at the house, but this could be a lot like the Innova Gorgon. Kind of the same rim. Can't remember if the Gorgon has that little bead or not, but I thought of that on the way here. Holy Flippy. That stood no chance. And I really don't think I threw that very hard. I feel like I threw the other two harder than that. So a pretty big stability difference between all three. The Skyway kind of holding the hyzer. The Scorch kind of flipped up to flat, held a lot straighter before fading. And then the Osprey stood no chance. We'll switch up here. So now we got a tailwind, left to right wind. I am gonna try to throw them a little harder this time. Skyway. Got a little flip up out of it that time. The Scorch definitely flips up to flat. That flew honestly kind of similar to the Skyway. Wow. That is so flippy. I think they might be onto something with that -3 turn. Definitely can't really trust it in any wind, and I've only thrown it twice. That wind was better, but still didn't really stand a chance. So I'm gonna set up in like a straight tailwind, or the best I can, see if we can get a flight out of it. Skyway, real nice disc. Just straight to the fade. Threw the Scorch really low that time, right into the, oh, that's a goal. Still. One more toss with the Osprey. There's like no wind at the moment. There we go. Okay, that's the best flight we've gotten out of it. I just took a lot off of it, kind of threw a smoothie shot. That at least gives me an idea of what to expect through the next 9 holes. So let's get over to the course and see how it performs through 9. All right, so we are here at Caesars Ford. I'm gonna be playing the front 9. After being out in the wide open field, I can tell the Osprey really isn't gonna do well in any wind. It's not super windy, I promise, but any bit of wind is not good for the Osprey. So I'm actually gonna play the front 9. It's a little bit more wooded. Hopefully we can see the disc fly and I can hit some lines. It might be a good disc for the woods too, just because you can put it on hyzer, flip it up, you know, shape it through some wooded lines. We'll see how it goes. I do have the rest of the prototype discs. So I have the Champ, which is the putter, I have the Bel Air, and then the Skyway. So I'll also be using those to help me out. I'm gonna throw the Osprey when it makes the most sense, but I'll try to reach for it more often than I probably would. Hole 1 is dead straight, 279, so I'm gonna go with the putter, the Champ, and the Bel Air, the mid-range. Wow, that was extremely lucky. Oh my gosh, what if we made that? We almost did. All right, the Bel Air is a little bit more stable. Gonna try to throw it lower. That should be okay. A little soft, but the skip, yep, that should be parked. Looks like a little 2 for 2 start. Didn't quite mean to go that low with the Bel Air, but it worked out and got a nice skip off the pavement there. If you guys have been enjoying the content, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. That will help the channel out a lot. Also, when shopping new plastic, make sure to shop foundationdiscs.com. Hit the link down in my description. That'll take you to the site. That link will specifically help support this channel. Thank you guys. Hole 2, we're gonna try the blue pad, 513 feet. It's a par 4. It's kind of around this corner and then it straightens out. I'm gonna try the Osprey on a hyzer flip right down the gut here. Hopefully it turns over a little. Oh, that's really bad. Missed everything. Let's try the Skyway for fun. That's what I wanted to do. Oh yeah. The Osprey versus the Skyway. The Skyway just gives you a little bit more confidence. You know you can rip it hard. Whereas the Osprey, it's a little bit more touchy there. Not that I'd probably throw the Osprey there anyway, like normally, but just for the sake of the video, I wanted to try. It's all about trying to save the par now, so I'm just gonna try to throw a little flexy thing out. That should work. Same shot here, just with the Champ. Just gonna wanna glide it on Annie. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is actually a really good par save. If you've played this hole before, you know how dangerous it can be being left off of the tee, especially short left. We're gonna go for the blue pad again, hole 3, par 4. I bet it's in A, which is 441. The tee sign says it's in C, but it's usually not, so we'll see. This one, the basket is on the right side of the tree line, so you have to get far enough where you can beat the corner. If you don't get far enough, you'd rather be left. I'm gonna go with the Osprey again, because that's kind of the point of this video. Put it down on this left side on hyzer, see if we can turn it over and get some decent distance. Oh, I slipped, but that is gonna be beautiful. You can see all the mud that came off of my shoe there. And that's the Skyway. As you can see, no turn whatsoever. This is really a perfect shot. It's a good thing that it didn't turn over too much, otherwise we start to get pinched the closer you are to that tree line, but this is just a nice simple putter approach. And that'll do for another birdie. Easy peasy. I was going to play gold pads, but I don't think I'm gonna take a risk. If I hit anything early, we're gonna be swimming. So we're gonna go around to the white pad and hope that it's better. A par 4 at 378, all the way up the hill, basket in the middle. I think this is prime time Osprey. Hyzer flip up the gut, see how far we can get. Oh, that was, okay. Kind of a bad kick there. Originally it was good and then it kicked us a little too left. A bit unfortunate of a landing right into the water and mud, but low-key we have a look at the basket. I'm gonna go with the Bel Air. This is very tricky to film, so forgive me. That should be good if it gets off that tree. Yeah, nothing like a park job. We're gonna go with the white pad here on hole 5, just so you can see the basket. 252, going Bel Air on hyzer. Oh, or just straight. That was awful. Let's try the Skyway. Ha! What a skip. Equally as bad, but better result. Try to give this a little baby run. See if we can get the long throw in. Great line, just not hard enough. Gotta settle with the par here. A bit unfortunate, but not surprising. Back to the blue pad on hole 6, 555. Just want to throw one as far up this hill as you can. All in all, the drive and the approach are pretty open. I'm gonna go with the Osprey and the Skyway. See which one does better. Ah, turned over. And now rolling. Wow, both of those so short. You can see the biggest tree, the basket is behind that, like 60-ish feet, I think. I'm gonna go Skyway, just play the right side the entire way. It's gonna be a little wide. Swinging back, it's gonna be a long putt. Played it a little too wide. I mean, I gave myself a look. It's either right in circle or right outside of circle. Oh, right around it. Good height too. You know, it's always the driver putt, man. Against my better judgment, I'm gonna go with the gold pad here on hole 7. 270 feet it looks like. It's really uphill. I don't really need a distance driver, but I'm gonna throw the Osprey anyway. Nope. Tried to finesse it too much. All right, time to go putter. Ah, same line as the Osprey. Well, this isn't tricky at all. Oh my gosh! I was about to say, see, told you. Hole 8, 825, it's a par 5. Basket is all the way down there past the tree line. I got a headwind hitting me in the face. I gotta go with the Skyway. Most stable driver I have. Come on, work for me. Okay, I threw that pretty well. Got a little scared there. It was gonna go in the thick stuff right, but it worked out. Picking up Skyway again, trying to get down there to the opening. That should be perfect. Should hyzer right into it. Could be short of it, but that's okay. This was really well played in the wind. Let's see if the approach can be just as good. Oh yeah. Obviously I need to be throwing the Skyway more than the Osprey. Birdie, 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 birdie. Let's go. All right, hole 9 to end us off. Par 4, 390 feet. Kind of up the hill. There is an OB road. I doubt we'll reach it though. Whoops. Just flipping this up down the middle. Trying to get as far as possible. Hopefully get one more birdie on the day. I think that's a perfect spot and a really good tree kick. Going straight at this, trying to get the bird. That'll do it. Hey-o. Ending off on a good note. I think that was 5 under through 9 with a mix between white pads and blue pads. That is gonna do it for my little first impressions of the prototype Osprey. Very interesting disc. I thought it was gonna be more like the Scorch, but definitely a bit more understable. Doesn't have as much fight. For slower arms, I think this disc can have a lot of potential. For faster arms, it's probably a roller or kind of a steady backhand turnover disc. I don't know if I'd put it in the bag. Seemed quite touchy, but I've had a really short amount of time with it, so I can't say that for sure. By the time you see this video, I think these are out April 10th. This video will probably come out the 11th. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one.